flock gathers each Sunday to worship at First Christian Church of Lancaster.
With his life and with God.
To thank God for his blessings.
So we pray for them.
And faithfulness.
Wonderful.
The Reverend Melissa Bidding's congregation has been going through a tribulation that most shocked and angered them. 2 years ago, they learned ownership of their church property had been transferred to someone else.
We thought Dallas County had just lost their mind, that they had just messed up, that somehow it was some clerical error.
The church, the oldest in Lancaster and one of the oldest Christian congregations in the state, was not for sale. They'd find it was no clerical error. Records filed with the county clerk claimed the church's chairman deeded the property over to a non-church member for $10. Bidding told us no one knew the person listed on the deed who claimed to be the church's chairman.
The first thing, of course, we did was call the police because, basically this is fraud.
So how can this happen? Well, when someone files a property deed with the county clerk, no one checks to see if it's legit. In some cases, scammers are forging people's signatures on deeds, even the signatures of dead people, as a WFA investigation found in 2019. Those deeds allow them to take control of property they don't own. In some cases, scammers sell or rent it to make easy money.
Deed fraud? It's pretty easy to do.
Dallas County prosecutors told us they've identified at least 90 properties taken through deed fraud over the past 2 years, and they believe there's many more.
The government relies on people being honest because most of us are honest. It's when you get these people who are trying to take advantage of that system and trying to take advantage of its vulnerabilities that we have things like this happen.
It may be easy to file a fraudulent deed, but it's difficult and expensive to undo. The law puts the onus on the victim to fix it.
You have to spend the money. You have to secure a lawyer. You have to take off time to go get the paperwork. That makes no sense.
When that deed was filed with the county clerk, it transferred ownership from First Christian Church to Whitney Foster. A Facebook page says Foster is the pastor of True Foundation Non-Denominational Church. Here he is preaching and singing in this recent video.
So you descendants of Jacob, you are not destroyed. Yeah.
Bidding provided us a copy of a $10 check he wrote and she says he put in the offering plate. The memo line says, donation.
I cannot imagine the audacity of this gentleman to come and worship with us like he did one Sunday morning before he stole the property through this quick deed.
We reached Foster by phone.
Mr. Foster?
We told him we wanted to talk to him about his purchase of First Christian Church.
Was your $10 check to buy the property?
Yes, the $10 check to buy the property.
Tell me how you think legally you can acquire a property that way with $10. I'm just curious how that works.
Because listen, the churches could convert the property. Anytime a church is about it wasn't Whitney about it. Our church was getting it. I was going to open up a church there.
Foster told us he'd done nothing wrong, a claim he has made to Lancaster Police. According to police records obtained by WFA, Foster confirmed he signed the document sent to him by the church's attorney acknowledging the deed was completed fraudulently.
When that detective called me, I told him, yes, sir, I turned it back over. Fine. I signed it back over. I wanted my $10 check back. That's all I asked for.
The DA's office says the vast majority of deed fraud occurs when people file in person at the county clerk's office. Legislation has passed in the Texas House and is now pending in the Senate that would make this type of crime much more difficult.
All Texans ought to enjoy the protections to make sure that they're not defrauded of their property or deeds are not changed without their knowledge.
Dallas Representative Yvonne Davis's bill will allow county clerks to require anyone presenting a deed in person to provide photo identification. It'll also give county clerks the ability to refuse to certify and file the document if the person doesn't show their ID.
I think that it might give some people pause, and they may just decide not to file that fraudulent deed.
He prays.
On a recent Sunday, Bidding offered up prayers.
And today we lift up one who is now in the justice system to you,
including one for Whitney Foster.
We ask that you touch Mr. Foster's heart and that you bring him back to a life that is worthy of a Christian minister.
In February 2020, a judge signed an order reinstating First Christian Church as the rightful owner of the property. Last month, the Dallas County Grand Jury indicted Whitney Foster on 1 count of felony theft in connection with the fraudulent deed.
I think it's bad enough that you do it against a home, but to do this against a church and against God's house, to me, I would not want to meet my Maker in having done something like that.
In Lancaster, I'm Tanya Iser.